3 days later, at Junction Garden, the morning sun fills the peaceful neighborhood. From downstairs, Xiaofan's family calls out to him, asking him to hurry down for breakfast. The mood feels light and relaxed after everything that has happened. Inside the house, his mother gently knocks on Xiaofan's door. She mentions that Mr. Qin and Mr. Tao are still occupied with the ongoing reconstruction work, but they were thoughtful enough to send over some snacks. With a smile, she tells Xiaofan to come try them together with Jianying. Hearing no response from inside, she decides to open the door, announcing softly that she's coming in. The moment her hand turns the knob, a faint hum fills the air. As the door slowly opens, a blinding blue light bursts out from within the room, swirling like a vortex. Shocked, she freezes in place, her eyes widening in disbelief. Confused and speechless, she can only whisper a stunned, "Huh," as the glowing energy engulfs the doorway. At the ruined palace courtyard on Tianfu Island, a mysterious glow emanates from the lake, a source more powerful than any crystal, said to be the core of an immortal god. He recalls that even the demon-devouring dragon kings never dared to touch such overwhelming power. Realizing her fear of being possessed by the ancient god was real, he studies the glowing cube in his hand as it pulses with divine energy. Turning to the fallen corpse holy dragon, he remarks that only they can endure an experiment like this. The dragon roars in response as the power intensifies. Holding the glowing cube tightly, he turns to Xiaofei and warns her to stay alert. If anything goes wrong, especially if the Divine Bone's ancient god awakens, things could spiral out of control. The energy around him starts to pulse violently, shaking the ground beneath them. Without wasting a moment, he commands her to recall the fallen corpse holy dragons immediately. Xiaofei nods quickly and begins the summoning spell as bright sigils light up around her. The golden dragons respond to her call, roaring as their massive bodies surge with divine energy. Their scales shimmer under the intense light, preparing for whatever danger might emerge. But before they can stabilize the power, a dark presence begins to rise. In the distance, ominous blue figures materialize, twisted and powerful, reacting to the disturbance of the ancient god's awakening. The atmosphere turns chaotic as the fallen corpse holy dragons roar in agony. Their bodies twist violently, surrounded by an overwhelming surge of purple divine energy. The power of the ancient god begins to manifest, shaking the ground with its intensity. He watches closely, realizing that each roar carries both pain and transformation. The dragons are enduring immense suffering, their forms bending and breaking under the divine pressure. Yet, within that agony lies a strange beauty, a hint of evolution taking place before his eyes. He recalls his own past encounters with this godly force, how every time it consumed him, he was torn apart in excruciating pain. But from that torment came rebirth, strength, and evolution beyond limits. Then his eyes widen in disbelief. The dragons, once separate beings, start merging together, their light fusing into one massive, radiant form. The sky vibrates as a colossal creature, born of divine wrath and rebirth, roars with unstoppable might. The intense energy surges beyond control, shaking the entire area. Realizing the danger, he shouts for Xiaofei to cast the light of jade. Without hesitation, she spreads her wings and summons a brilliant green light that envelops everything around them. The spell releases waves of energy, forming layers of protection that shield them from the destructive divine force. The light of jade amplifies their strength, removes all debuffs, and enhances their healing, stabilizing the chaotic power that rages within the fusion. As the light fades, smoke fills the air. Coughing, he calls out to the fallen corpse holy dragons, asking if they're all right. Slowly, the air clears, revealing him sitting amidst the debris, exhausted but alert. Then, his eyes widen in disbelief as he senses a strange pulse through the bond. The system activates again, displaying a message that reads. He checks the system interface and notices the fallen corpse holy dragons remain dormant, still surrounded by divine energy. The the dragon bone flute has become unusable, and the system displays the Jade Dragon's contract details, showing its evolved abilities and nature assimilation skills. Realizing they can't wake the dragons yet, he tells Xiao Fei to return home and wait for the process to stabilize. Deep down, he prepares for the worst, ready to use the demon crystal cannons to destroy the newborn divine bones if the evolution fails. Xiao Fan notes that the fallen corpse holy dragons can be resummoned once the evolution completes and hopes to recover the ancient god's source. Knowing the process will take time, he decides to wait 24 hours for the results. Returning home, he's greeted by his mother, who informs him that someone from the city garrison came looking for him. Commander 2 wants to see him. She reminds him to eat the snacks Mr. Qin sent over, but Xiao Fan rushes off, saying he'll eat after meeting Commander 2 for something important. At home, Jianing relaxes while watching the news, showing the ongoing election for the new ruler. Public support for the Liu family continues to fall as reports reveal the divine beast tide's destruction of the Tegi nation. Her friend comments that the Tegi nation barely survived, only spared because the ancient god's power was targeting Liu Fan instead. Meanwhile, at the Zhanghai City Garrison headquarters, Commander 2 sits in the conference room, waiting as he calls someone to enter. Xiao Fan arrives at the headquarters, assuming Commander 2 called him regarding the ancient gods. Commander 2 confirms and mentions new intelligence from the northern borderlands. Reports suggest the Divine Bone's ancient god may be dead, but 35 others are expected to awaken. He continues that the fallen corpse ancient god has already shown signs of awakening after a massive earthquake triggered an avalanche in the northern region. On the other side of the mountain range, a shocking sight appeared. A second blood moon now hangs in the sky, signaling that something even greater is about to begin. Xiao Fan is shocked to hear that the giant beast buried beneath the snowy mountains of the northern borderlands has opened its second eye. Commander 2 adds that from the barracks, they can hear the entire mountain range vibrating like a living heartbeat. The energy pulsing through the ice sounds like the rhythm of the blood moon beast's heart. Due to the increasing danger, all exploration missions are suspended, and troops are ordered to retreat 50 kilometers from the mountain range. Xiao Fan recalls that when he was with the 18th Squad, he discovered the blood moon beast wasn't the fallen corpse ancient god, but likely its servant. The real ancient god still sleeps sealed inside a black coffin. Commander 2 agrees, explaining that the Divine Bone's ancient god awoke earlier than expected and already possessed immense power between level 110 and 120. He notes that even the Blood Moon beast alone is enough to unsettle everyone due to its destructive force. If the true fallen corpse ancient god within that black coffin ever awakens, it would bring unimaginable catastrophe to the Dragon Country. Commander 2 tells Liu Fan that even if the fallen corpse ancient god awakens, Dragon Country still has him, the Dragon Tamer who once defeated the Divine Bone's ancient god. He reassures Liu Fan that with his strength, there's still hope to protect the nation. Liu Fan humbly responds, thinking Commander 2 is exaggerating. Commander 2 explains that the words aren't his, but from Elder Han, one of the 3 elders of Dragon Country, who holds Liu Fan in high regard. At Elder Han's proposal, the 3 elders representing the combat, enhancer, and life classes have agreed to a joint plan to completely annihilate the fallen corpse ancient god. Commander 2 tells Liu Fan that as the only person to have ever killed an ancient god, he is now chosen to become the guardian of Dragon Country. The High Command of Dragon Capital pledges full support, promising to provide every available resource to nurture his growth. 2 explains that Liu Fan will serve as the kindling of their hope, their ultimate weapon against the ancient gods. Presenting a legendary grade medal, he asks Liu Fan if he's willing to join the Kindling Plan.